Season 2, Alpha Nerds. Let's get it cracking. Well, okay, what was your highlights from season 1, bro?
Highlights.
Let's
from
start
season-
there.
You know what everyone likes is me talking about what part my favorite part of a woman is.
You get a lot of comments
I
on
got
that.
a lot of
Okay,
comments
you
on
get a lot of comments from girls.
Yeah, obviously.
About
I
that.
mean, yeah, because that's another highlight.
Yeah.
That's another highlight when we talked about like dudes sliding in my DMs.
Right.
That was highlight number 2. A lot of people talked about that.
And we come to the consensus that it was like that part.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
next
like
to
yeah,
the-
inner
yeah,
thigh,
inner
upper,
thigh,
upper, like up in
Yes.
those regions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of men concurred. They
Men
agreed.
concurred, and women were just like, "What the hell? I'm trying to get rid of that." And you're like,
Yeah,
"You idiot."
women had no idea.
No
huh?
idea.
Yes, I did get a few comments from women like, "What do you, we're trying to get rid of this fat. You guys like this baby
what are
fat?"
you
Yes.
talking about? You know, we
Yes,
didn't
we do.
talk about the opposite side, like that out here too, like that little jiggle there too.
Mm.
Ooh,
Mm. I'm a fan. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna discriminate against my skinnier women.
No, I'm not discriminating.
Them
I'm
slim
just saying what
slim
I just
thicks are doing their
have- Yeah,
thing.
I just have a preference.
Yes.
I just have a preference. We're
Don't,
okay.
don't we all?
We're okay. We're okay to say that. I have a preference.
Anyways, we're back for season 2 of Alpha Nerds. Welcome back.
Here.
We are here.
I'm sick, but we're here.
We apologize that we didn't upload for a little bit. That's just because summer came here in Canada. In Canada, summers are very, very short. We had things to do. We were
Summer dresses were out. Was that what do you call them again? That's what they're called, right?
summer dresses.
That's
And
what
they're
called, right?
they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal. They were out and they distracted us, guys. We're only just two normal men, and then we got
So
a
we're
little
just like,
distracted.
No podcast right now. I gotta go look.
That's it. No, the truth is, I think we've just both had things going on,
we got a lot
especially on
going on.
weekends, family, this and that.
Yep.
We're both working men. We both have other responsibilities, and we just found it difficult to sync up a little bit. But I think me and Mike both agree this is something that should be done and that needs to be done to keep us accountable with other aspects of our life. And I think it's something that I think we both want to do. So we got to try to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think too, just from more recently, just talking to so many men, just like how much men need somebody to just talk to.
Yes,
And
huge.
I think we've talked a little bit about that before, but it just seems like it's just being more apparent. I went to my barber the other day, like the owner of the barber shop was saying the same thing. Just like it's just become very prominent, like a very prominent thing.
For sure. And even I feel like the age has a lot to do with that too.
Yeah, maybe we're
Because
getting a little bit older, where men are like they're
Right.
going through some shit.
and I think a lot of the content out there right now is for the younger generation.
Yeah.
The late teens, the younger
It's telling you how
20-year-olds.
not to be like misled by women, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So I feel like it's just creating this really like man versus female narrative that just kind of we don't really need it.
I do feel that sometimes as well.
And I mean, we both have stuff we need to learn and
Yeah.
grow from
Yeah.
to help each other and just be better in our relationships as human beings. But the way it's being put out now is like your fault. This is this is why this, and it's just
Yes.
like, man, you don't. Since when did that ever win an
Yes.
argument?
And you know what? That's what it kind of takes to grow on social media. Not to get into too crazy. I think I'm one of the few people who talks about relationships on Instagram.
Yeah.
And is able to like not point fingers, but be like, hey, we're both wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like people don't like that.
I know. It's not sexy
Like they'll
enough.
start watching
It's
the
not
video,
sexy
like,
enough.
yeah, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Well, I'm in the fitness industry, and it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I just watched a video, and he was like, "This. You want to know what was it saying? Something like stop using." That's what when I heard as soon as it said stop using.
Yeah.
Stop using ladders for your agility if you're serious about making improvements in your agility in the next 30 days. And I'm just like, okay, that was like your tagline that
Right.
you thought was supposed to hook people.
Right.
And it just turned me off. Now I just think you're a bunch of shit right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
the catchphrases
yeah.
at the beginning are getting a little extreme.
Yeah, and I get it. But I think what I would like for us to do and more people to do is just be a little bit more genuine and just be caught get hooks off of being genuine.
I think the number one word, like the most popular word, I'm not going to say the most Googled, but it was the most popular word for 2023 was authentic.
Yeah.
And we had spoken about
We
that.
actually did speak about that.
Authenticity is the new wave. Being real, be able to say where you stand on certain topics and be you, be your unapologetic self.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's super important in this new world.
And I had made a comment saying that like you have to piss people off and stuff, but maybe I worded that right. I didn't word that right. My intent isn't like you specifically go out there with the intent or aim to piss people off.
Right.
But it's just the byproduct of you being
It's
authentic.
going to happen.
It's
People
gonna
are going
happen,
to people are going to
and
disagree
you're just
with
gonna
you.
have to like be accepting of that and
Right.
know that when that does happen, it's a sign that, you know what, at least I'm being true to myself
100%.
because I'm having people that agree and I have people that are that disagree. If everyone agrees, like that's very questionable. How do you make everyone agree?
You can't.
We can't make anyone
It's
agree
not
on
possible.
anything. So how
and we
is
shouldn't
you-
we shouldn't all agree.
No. So
How do we
is
learn?
your opinion or what you're saying everyone like okay with?
Right. How do we learn? If everybody agrees, how do we learn? How do we
Yeah.
move to the next level? How do we get to the next generation to excel and create new things? Like there has to be some sort of controversy
it.
to grow, right? I tell my kids all the time, you make a mistake, that's good.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, you grow, you get better.
Yeah.
Right? Which is absolutely fantastic. That's what made me the man I am. All the stupid mistakes I made
Yeah.
in my life. Right?
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. All the dumb shit that we've done. Oh
That's
my
it.
god.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like where I've been at. I think that those are kind of like my takeaways from season 1.
I love it.
Yeah, what are yours?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, you gonna say
Pretty
what?
much the
Yeah.
same. I think I still stand on a lot of the points that I made in season 1 in terms of, and even stronger now in terms of we should, be finding our wife earlier in life, We won't get into it. We should be having children younger. And, now that I have the experience, now that I'm in my late 30s and I have 3 kids and, I'm seeing what it's like to have children and juggle life and pursue the things that I want to pursue in life, there's nothing that I think more like I should have just started doing the kids thing earlier. It's something, you wouldn't really understand until you were in the position. But I stand by that, man. I'm going to stand by that until something changes.
If something changes.
If something changes, right?
I'm going to jump ship a little bit with you and say you're probably right about a lot of that. However,
This clip is going on Instagram, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course. But, to a degree, like I said, I think you shouldn't willingly be going out to be like, oh, I have to experience this, that, and this and turn down everything that's like, any good opportunity or woman that comes your way.
Be open to it.
Be open to it.
Yes.
I think you just have to be a little bit more vigilant
Right.
when you're younger. You gotta scope the scene a little bit more because you're not only young, so you might like be wowed at the minute, but like that's you're just kind of like in the moment. But she might be just be in the moment too. She's young and she's learning and might not be really sure what she wants. So you just got to be really, really diligent with your background check.
Yeah.
Make sure she's really for you and she's serious. Test the waters out. Maybe make sure she's serious. And then if that's what you're feeling, then you don't gotta run these streets. There ain't nothing in there.
No.
for you.
And again, be authentic. Be who you are. If you're somebody who wants children
Yeah.
and wants a wife at a younger age, don't be ashamed of that.
Yeah.
Be
But
cool with that.
I think a lot of younger guys too, though, like at that age, that's not actually what they want either.
Because yes, they don't know though, but they're scared. I feel like a lot of men or men, I'll say men, are even scared to admit that. I knew what I wanted, but I felt like I had to wait until I was 30. I felt like I had to wait till that time because that's kind of what I was told.
I think I would say probably the same, but I don't think I was ready at that time. I'm like, well, how am I going to have a family? How am I going to do this? I'm not even a, like really grown man myself. There's still so much that I'm learning. There's still like, and mind you, you never stop learning or whatever, but like in my 20s. I'm like, I just started like driving like a couple years ago.
Well, that's the
You know what I
feeling.
mean?
That's the feeling we get, right? We feel like, oh, we're not ready. We have to have our house. We have to have our money. We have to have all this.
And I know, like
But now that I'm in that position, I
know
can say
that you're
no.
about to say you don't have to have.
Yeah,
that. I know what
you
you mean.
figure it out. And
I
like
know.
the thing is, when you have your children younger, whatever, you have so much energy. You raise those children. You learn. You learn. They learn. You learn. They learn. And you still have so much time after to still do all the things you need to do, right?
think
Because
the
you
biggest
only
factor
really
too-
have kids. You only really have kids for, let's say, 10 years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And then they're not kids anymore.
They start to not give a crap about you. I'm not even there yet, but I know this, and I'm going to be very aware of it. I'm going to be very aware that there's going to be a day where my son doesn't want to play video games with me. He doesn't want me to take him to basketball. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't care if I'm watching. Like we're gonna butt heads. I know that's a fact. It happens for
think
most
that's
men.
a lot. I think that's a lot further away than you think, and also because the relationship that you have now. If
Hopefully.
you were a distant father
Hopefully.
and you weren't his homie as well,
Hopefully.
then he's gonna be like, "Well, I'm not really missing anything.
Yeah,
like,
hopefully.
we ain't rocking like that."
I hope. And especially my daughters. Ooh, I'm trying to keep them close, boy. I'm trying to keep them close.